r/MaliciousCompliance. I shut down the whole organization for a week. Now, I work in a very large community center that is nonprofit. We have tons of stuff like children's daycare, open college, and physiotherapy for seniors and disabled people. I love my work. I got promotion after promotion. I started an IT tech support person. I was the only IT guy in the whole organization. Now, when we started, we got around maybe 80 people working there, including the teachers in our open college. Today, we're over 200 strong. So anyway, it's a relaxed and non-toxic work environment, as I got tons of work to do as I am alone with everything that runs with ones and zeros. I have to plan my work a little differently than the rest of the bunch. So I have 100% flexible work times, meaning I work when I see fit. I'm also on salary. They pay me once a month and not hourly. The executive director approves this as I can maintain the whole organization's IT infrastructure without any downtime. I come and go as I see best for me to do my job. Now, this worked fine for about 12 years or so. Everyone was happy, and I was respected because not only I got the job done, but my job did not cause any downtime on IT at all. The only downtime was an hour or less if someone's workstation broke down, etc. I always had spared ready to go. I was also on call 24/7 and went to the office in the middle of my vacations if needed, and I was able to go. I worked on weekends and sometimes nights on the work week just to get things done so there's no downtime during office hours. At that time in my career, we had a pretty massive amount of servers, 8 server machines just for Microsoft stuff, 4 Linux servers, and a couple of Berkeley software distribution for open college. I had a maintenance routine divided into small maintenance that I did after office hours and large maintenance that I did after office hours and continued throughout the night, and the huge ones that needed me to live at the office over the weekend. And as there was no such thing as quote-unquote overtime, we had agreed that whenever I had to work more than 8 hours, I would get paid leave instantly on the next day. So if I come to work at 8 on a Monday, stayed until everyone left, and then started the smaller maintenance that would usually take around 2 to 3 hours max, I would then come 2 to 3 hours later to work the next day. And if it took long enough, I could take the whole next day off. I always informed the whole organization that maintenance was due and that I would deal with it and take X amount of leave the next day. No problems with anyone, business as usual, well, until we hire a new project manager, the middle-aged lady that has the most piercing blue eyes that drill into our soul and suck all the joy and will to live out of you. And she was a corporate manager. It was her first time working in a nonprofit organization, so she was super shocked at how relaxed our office was. There were complaints about everything that I don't want to list here because only one is relevant: working times. I did not get how she was able to boss around our frickin' director when she was only a project manager. I mean, what the hell? I was at that time already a systems administrator. And anyway, soon came the time for large maintenance, some updates for accounting software and some smaller things to open the college end. I put a notice to our org's email list like always and stated that large updates are going in starting this evening and ending before tomorrow morning, and that I would not be in the office the next day. Email me or call me if any problems arise. I never gave any time estimates because there was always a chance that they won't hold. If something goes wrong with updates or other stuff, it's my ass who has to fix it anyway, and then it's God knows how many hours it takes. So evening comes around, everybody goes home, and I wait till the last one logs out from their workstation and I go to work. Routine stuff, some updates, weird database conversion that has to be done every time our accounting or wages software gets an update. It takes time, but only like 6 hours or so as it's only the accounting database. I finish my stuff and I head home. The next morning, I woke up around 7 o'clock, make some coffee, and headed to my gaming computer and think, all day nothing but Eve online. At around maybe 9 a.m. or something, my work phone rings. I answer, and it's the project manager. I'll just call her, PMS from now.
Hey there. If you haven't heard already, a few friends and I recently launched Rufus Rugs, your go-to destination for premium custom hand-tufted rugs. Looking to add a touch of your favorite anime like Naruto to your space? We've got you covered. Or perhaps you're a die-hard Pokemon guy and want bus toys showcased for everyone to admire. No matter your style, we can bring your vision to life. Click the first link in the description to explore more.
PMS yells to me on the phone, something like this. I don't remember the actual words. PMS, where the hell are you? Me, I'm at home. It's my day off. PMS, oh, well, we have a situation here. I need you here. Now. Me, okay, I'll be there in 15 minutes. I still live pretty close to my work. On my way, I thought, did I mess something up last night? Can't be. I tested everything, and it would have been accounting calling me or the secretary if it was about updates at the open college end. Well, we'll see. Whatever, I'll check it out then. So I rush to the office and go straight to the project manager's office. Me. Hey, what's up? PMS. My printer is out of toner. Get me a new one. Me. Huh? Out of toner? Is this the situation? There are toners on a shelf at storage on the first floor. All desktop printers are the same and use the same toner, so why did you not get it yourself? All this was explained to you a week ago. PMS. I am not going to change any toners, boy. Do your job. Me. Okay, whatever. And I head to storage to get new toner. We have a policy that all employees deal with their own desktop printers, add papers to them, and change the toner because it's as easy as putting your frickin' shoes on. And it takes these trivial tasks away from me who already is overworked and underpaid. So I get back and change the toner, then I head back home. She actually stopped her whining for a while, and I thought it was all good. But after a couple more maintenance days and nights, she called an administrative meeting. So there was me, our new wages clerk, who was also the HR manager, director, office manager, and of course, PMS. PMS starts the meeting. Again, something like this, as I don't remember the actual words. PMS. I wanted to talk about work times and how you have been slacking and taking leave on his own accord. I thought that in this community we all share the same rules, do we not? Me? Sorry, but as the same rules do apply to all, work times don't. We do different kind of work here, so the same exact work times just won't work. PMS. You have been at home when people here have problems with their computers. Me. Yes, and they call me if there is a problem, and 99.9% of the time, we get it sorted out by phone. PMS. But your home is not your workplace. Your office is. Me. Yes, but as I have to work late and even nights sometimes here, I take the paid leave ASAP as we have agreed here. PMS. Well, all work should be done during normal office hours. Why do you even have to work at nights or weekends? Me. Because no one here wants any downtime during their work. Just to clarify, they were at this point maybe 120 people strong. At least 80 of those use workstations or laptops for their work. Even the damn fitness instructors. Everything was at this point digital and ran ones and zeros. Physicists meet a client, they do their stuff, and then physicists do the mandatory report on the computer. They make all the plans for clients on the computer. Kiddie daycare uses computers daily to be in contact with parents, etc. Everything is run by computers now. PMS. Nonsense. You can do your job during office hours like the rest of us. I look at the director as I know HR and the office manager don't give a flip about this. And for some reason, director says to me, Director, yeah, PMS and I have been talking about this issue for a few times with the whole staff, and from now on, our old agreement is no longer valid. You have to do all your work during office hours. Many people don't like that you can take paid leave. Me. Are you sure? Like 110% sure about this? All my work, server, and network maintenance too, at office hours? Can we make a new written agreement on this as we did during my open hours? Director. Yes, come by in the evening before we close the office for today. I'll have the agreement ready by then. Me? Okay, and leave to continue whatever I was doing before this crap is about to hit the fan meeting. And as you can guess what is about to happen, ha. I mean, there was zero toxicity at our work. Everyone was happy, and then, one corporate goblin just has to come and create this tension. Oh well, they're about to learn their lesson. I go to see the director later in the evening and we sign the agreement about my new work times. I check the agreement and tell the director that he forgot something. There is no mention of the time frame I need to inform the whole staff when maintenance is about to happen. Only that I have to do all my work during office hours from 8:15 to 3:30. Also, as I am on salary, overtime is not allowed unless we have an agreement on it. And whoopsie, the old agreement that stated my overtime hours would be paid leave hour by hour, the new agreement had nothing about overtime. So absolutely no overtime hours, period. But I did not mention this to him. He just shrugs his shoulders and says, just send them in an email in the morning if you're about to do it that day. All right then, will do. I'll just start with my waiting game. I love my work and all the people here, but I'm about to make myself the most hated man here, at least for a while. A couple of weeks go by, I do a few small maintenance jobs here and there, and downtime is only from 1 hour to 2 hours. I usually do it at lunchtime so everyone gets as little downtime as possible because I am waiting for the huge one. And the patience is rewarded. In a few months, accounting and wages are getting huge updates. I mean, this is the stuff that usually means that I stay the whole weekend at the office sleeping on the floor with a sleeping bag for those couple of hours I can. I still think that maybe I should just go and tell the director that we're about to hit the big one. Nah, nope, I'm not. I also saved some smaller updates just for this occasion. I've never felt so evil in my life. So the day comes and I go to the office at 8:15 sharp and send the message to the whole organization. Good morning. It's this time and this day, and today is again a maintenance day. Prepare for some downtime. This maintenance concerns whole organizations as I have to update all the servers and some routers too. There's also a huge update on financial software and it is critical and has to be done. I will start my operation at 11 as usual. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, me. Remember that I never have told anyone any estimates of how long maintenance will take? Well, we'll see now. I do my other stuff and then ding ding, it's 11 o'clock. Time to start. Phase 1, first I kick every employee out of the network. Easy, I got a script for that. Phase 2, then I hit OS updates in every server and go get some coffee. Now, everyone got kicked out of the network so they can't access anything on the network. File server is offline, print server offline, database servers offline. They can't even use the photocopier because you have to be logged into AD, Active Directory, to use it with their RFID card. They still have access to their desktop and they can use desktop applications, but as per company policy, all data is stored to file servers as no one is allowed to save any files on their laptops and workstations. Also, they can't use the internet at all because every server is now downloading updates from the internet, and I made sure every Linux and Unix box downloads everything possible. And then my phone starts to ring. Me, this is IT services, how can I help? Screaming. Me, yeah, it's a big maintenance today. I did send an email this morning about it. No, I don't know how long it's going to take. All day at least. Maybe. We'll see. Click on the other end. At 12 o'clock, people are starting to return from lunch. The whole network is still down and stays down. Around 1 o'clock, I start to get phone calls about how long it's going to take. Some people come to my office when they can't reach me by phone. I just tell them that the estimated time is unknown on these big updates. Should not take more than a day or two. Day or two. This is what stirred the whole place. It was like a beehive all of a sudden. People came to me screaming and yelling, "Why did you do this to us? Why? Cancel the updates now. I need to work. Stop." I just shrugged my shoulders. Sorry, can't do anything about it. It's impossible to cancel or stop once it's put into motion. Just hang on. Even the director came to see me and was first angry and then a little confused. I told them that this is what maintenance is. It is what it is and nothing will change it. At least not this instant. Everyone just has to suck it up and wait till it's done. I'm just doing my job here. So I just read some IT magazines and had way too much coffee for the rest of the day as I was waiting for the servers to update. Then 3:30 came and I went home. Some people were still sitting at their offices waiting and looked at me with the most questionable faces asking, "Where am I going?" "Home, I'll see you tomorrow." Next day, I go check the servers in the morning. Almost done with all of them. Unix and Linux are peachy. I still have to reboot all the Windows servers, so I do that. I could just boot them all at once, but I feel more evil by the minute and I just boot them one at a time, waiting for the server to fully boot, my login, and check that updates are okay before moving on to the next one. And of course, after every server, I pull my own laptop and make a maintenance report in detail. No one reads these reports, but office managers demand them anyway. They go straight to the archive and into the recycle bin a year later. After I have done with servers, the clock is around almost 2 o'clock and I haven't had my lunch yet, so I go and have lunch. I come back at 3:10 and start to plan the next day. I need to install updates for financial applications and I want to do a checklist so that all goes smoothly. Did not complete my list and plan is so it's 3:30 again and I'm going home. Did I mention that it's now Thursday? I started my maintenance on Tuesday. Oopsies. I finish my checklist and plan for the financial software updates early. I start dropping updates one by one before lunchtime. I could drop them all at once, but I just want to go by the book and follow my checklist. It's, by the way, recommended by this software supplier that updates are installed one by one. All goes smoothly, and I put the databases to do their weird conversion. As I am not a total man part, I drop the rest of the smaller updates on other server-side programs while I wait for the database thingy to complete. Well, as usual, it takes forever, so I headed back home when the clock hits 3:30. Friday now. I've been the only person in our 120-person company working since 11 o'clock last Tuesday. Everyone is so pissed. They have to come to the office and do nothing. Some are doing cleaning operations on their desk, some are tidying paper archives, etc. Most are just sipping coffee and reading magazines. The internet has been fine since Wednesday, but I don't think anyone has noticed. Lol. I feel sorry for physicists who have to use pen and paper for all clients and then later sort everything on their computers. The restaurant and cafeteria are fine as I did not mess with cashier systems at all. Friday morning comes around and I get all okay from database conversion. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I can begin starting the services on servers. One by one, of course. I take my sweet time, using every break I am entitled to and have a full-length lunch break. Finally, 3 o'clock sharp, I send an email to the whole org that maintenance is now done and you can now log in to get access to the network. Thank you for your patience. The next estimated huge maintenance is about in 3 or 4 months. The director, office manager, accountant, and wages clerk had been at home most of the week. I think I saw them last Wednesday morning and not after that. The project manager was pissed on Wednesday too, but left me alone as I explained that if I have to go to some meetings with every branch about this downtime issue, downtime would only get longer as I would not be actively working on it. Next week, we had a new administration meeting and my old open work times agreement with overtime leave was active again. I got it in writing too. No one ever complained about my paid overtime free time ever again. And I was not concerned about getting fired as in my country, firing employees is hard. It's super hard to get rid of someone, and as I had written an agreement about work times and my work contract clearly stated what I do at my work, there was no way they could have any case of sacking my temporary evil act. But in the end, all was good. A couple of weeks and everyone is happy to work again with no downtime at all. The villain, PMS, was chill for the rest of her career. I even visited her family's house and fixed their home computer and installed a new printer and Wi-Fi for them. She retired from work a few years ago. She was actually sorry about what happened and took all the blame. There have been a few longer downtimes, but those were always hardware failures. When servers go boo-boo, there are no spare ones to put up in an hour, but thanks to virtualizations and a lot cheaper hardware, I'm prepared for that too now. But anyway, I bet many of you are wondering how PMS was able to boss my boss around. The answer is pretty simple, but first I have to explain how the work culture works in our nonprofit and most likely at any other similar work environments as well as in my country. I am an executive sysadmin. Sounds like a top-notch position, right? I must have plenty of power, right? Answer is yes and no. I have clients I work for. Who are these clients? Well, every single employee in my org. I serve them. I work for them. I don't work for some faceless stakeholder or CEO who just wants to get his bank account fatter. I work for my clients. How about our other executives, like managers and our high honcho, the director? Same thing. Their job is to make sure that everyone can do their job and are happy to do it. I know it must sound weird if you are from a stiff corporate world, but this is how it basically works here. If an employee is pissed about something, the manager is going to hear and have to deal with the issue. The chain of command is short and simple. We only have a branch manager, who is usually an employee who is most skilled and experienced. He does the manager stuff with the normal work in his field. The next step is executives, no middle managers. We don't even have an office manager anymore. Of course, this does not mean that employees can do whatever they want. No. If they start to slack and won't do their job, the manager or director will take matters and see that they get back in line. But also, if the employee has complaints, concerns, or just wants to change things, they can freely go straight to the director about it, and they have a right to go there pissed AF if they feel the issue needs it. The only reason I was given the executive title was that the director wanted to wash his hand of responsibility. If an employee messes up, it's his or her boss who takes the heat usually. And with when the director really wanted to push all heat to my lap. Anyway, this leads to an environment where stuff gets done, even if it sounds the opposite. You could say that we're all equal here. No one is bossing around anyone because they have a need to show their power, and then again, everyone is bossing everyone around if they need to. Story 2. R Malicious Compliance. Manager insists I do my job properly. Happy to comply, sir. Preface. In early 2020, I was hired under the title Assistant Manager at a local automotive shop. We mainly sold tires and alloy wheels for passenger vehicles. The company owned several stores. I reported directly to my manager, who then reported to the owner of the company. Shortly after I was hired, I noticed the behavior of the manager was far from professional. He would constantly mock and berate me for being the new guy. I believe part of this was jealousy and insecurity on his part, as I ended up recording more sales under my name within the first few months. He would also knock off work early and start drinking beer while the rest of us continued to work. I remember when he found out that I participated in MMA training sessions after work, he tried to goad me into a fight for his own amusement. Clearly, this guy didn't like me, and I was starting to get the feeling that he was trying to get me to snap or lose my cool, and as a result, my employment. I became even more certain of that with what happened next. The story. During the few months that I had worked there, I noticed that our takings for the day and sales records did not match. I would often spend half an hour to an hour after work trying to figure out where the errors were coming from, whilst the manager would simply throw his hands in the air and exclaim that he had no idea how this was happening. The recurring issue seemed to be that our cash takings had been recorded incorrectly. There would sometimes be an excessive amount of cash that didn't match up to what was recorded on our sales and invoicing software. Other times there would be less. I was, at the time, an accounting student studying toward my bachelor's degree. I was already suspicious of the cash being out each day. However, given how the manager had been treating me up until this point, I was concerned that any complaint would somehow be twisted and used against me, and boy, was I right. Several weeks later, my manager took some time off. During this time, I managed a personal record of store sales and also noticed something interesting. The cash was never out at the end of each shift. I reported this directly to the owner of the company. Given I was acting manager during the time my manager was away, I was expected to report to the owner every day and explain what had been occurring whilst the manager was there. In all honesty, I was hopeful that the owner would be having a word with the manager about the discrepancies. However, I was also weary, as I believe once the owner spoke to my manager, that the manager will immediately know it was me who reported this. When the manager returned to work, he immediately approached me with a disgruntled look on his face. "I've spoken with the owner. You try to blame me for the discrepancies? You should focus on doing your job properly, then this wouldn't happen." Now, I was quite taken aback by how angry he was, though I wasn't surprised that he twisted it and tried to place blame on me. Given his reaction, I'm even more suspicious at this point. He wants me to do my job properly, eh? Alright, malicious compliance ensues. That same week, I got to work. I started paying attention to what customers were paying when they were dealing with my manager. Behind his back, I began examining all of his sale transactions and invoices with a fine comb. As the days rolled by, I started to find evidence of his dishonesty. When it came to a few cash sales, my manager was doing the following. For example, he would tell the customer the price is $200 if he pays cash, would discount the price by $50 in the sale invoicing software, and then would put the extra cash into the till and record a $150 cash sale. Before we did the cash up at the end of the day, he would sneakily pocket this extra cash whilst no one was around. Though he was very foolish, as he clearly couldn't remember the exact amount he had swindled. Hence, why the cash would be up some days, didn't swindle enough, or the cash would be down, swindled too much. The end. I took screenshots of the discounts he had been giving on sales and sent them to the business owner along with a report with a detailed description of my findings. The report also showed that on all days he wasn't there for the cash count, there was no variance. When he was there, well, the owner was infuriated. This man had been his trusted employee for years. The owner was so infuriated, in fact, that he ordered my manager to do a mandatory drug test, pee in a cup style, on the same day he found out. And no surprises, he failed. Turns out the manager had quite the meth habit. This was most likely his sole motive for stealing cash, and the owner was beside himself. We operate machinery every day in the store, and so the thought of a manager walking around high as a kite wouldn't sit well with any health and safety professional. In fact, it could have landed the owner in serious legal trouble if any accident or injury occurred under this manager's watch. The manager was terminated immediately for violation of his contract and was later taken to court by the owner in an attempt to recover the stolen funds. Safe to say, I was promoted to the store manager position shortly after his termination.